Hey, it's me. I'm JC. Just mentioned JC. It is what everybody call me. Real quickly, I did my intro really fast, so I'm just gonna say it again. All month long, I've been talking about gay issues. Main reason why because it's National Gay Pride Month. So it's once again, I'm JC. Just mentioned JC. It is whatever you like to call me. And all month long, I've been kind of going from like talking about issues when it comes to pride. Last I talked with y'all when it came to an LGBT video prominently was Father's Day and also the coming out process. And yes, last week I planned on another one, but my book was not here. And this is called The Joys of Gay Sex. Yes, this book right here helped me out a lot. Now you're asking this question, what is so important about this book? Is this video alone, I'm gonna hold this for a few more seconds and then I'm gonna put it back down, I'm gonna put it back up. When it comes to figuring out who you are, whether you are identifying when you love who you love, I will say first and foremost, this video is for the LGBTQ. So also I want you to understand that this video is all about kind of figuring out who you are. Figuring out who you are is a very big deal, not so much for me, but it helps me and you figure out I said it wrong. One more time. When you figure out who you are, it helps you kind of identify and it helps you kind of navigate yourself. Now, that being said, what I'm going to tell you first and foremost is that there are several books out there for every type of person. If you are a woman and you love women, you identify as L, a lesbian. And if you are a man and you love men, you identify as gay. If you are a man that loves a man or a woman, you just want your cake eaten too. Or just, I'd rather call you just bisexual. If you're a woman, you love both sexes of a male and a female. I know I should have did it the first time. I'm so sorry. I made a dude sound like a dog. If you love both sexes of a male and a female, then you are also bisexual. That being said, we also have our trans community. We can't ever forget about anybody out there. And there's a trans man, where you are a man when you are a woman, but inside you feel like a man, or not feel like a man. You know that you are a man and you were born in the wrong body. Then you are a trans man or a trans male. If you are a male and you feel like you are born in the wrong body and you feel like you are a woman inside, you are a trans woman or you are a trans female. There are so many more. Like there's pansexual, where you kind of love both sexes and you don't define either one. You love men, you love women. It is what it is. And those do not conform to their sexuality, and that's that have non-gender form. So I got all that out there. Yes, it is a mouthful. But being part of the LGBTQ, it's queer situation, and I want y'all to understand this video is more so for gay men and also bisexual men, and this is for like dudes that like men that love men, or I will say that for as far as this video, main reason why, because this book helped me out. Now, I don't want to really get full on to why this book matters the most, but I will say this. Books like this helps a lot of people out there. Now, this is a free use because I'm going to make sure y'all understand. I'm going to see if I have like to do anything else. I own this book, so me talking about this book, it's considered a review, but it's not, because I'm talking about the importance of books like this. Now, being a part of the LGBTQ community, there's a lot of books and resources out there. There are a lot of like books that they would love for you to read, and there's books that we all kind of learn to become educated with. When it comes to learning who you are and your sexual desires, it's very kind of important whether you are like when you are younger. I don't really want to go there with that, because I can tell you all the time, someone identifies young does not mean that means you have sex. That needs to be said out there. If you know that you love men, if you know that you love women, you know, then that's why the coming out process happens. When it comes to books like The Joys of Gay Sex and books like this, it helps men and women all in the in-between all trans men and trans women, all alike, because it helps you kind of identify, okay, this is who I am. And this also gets you to understand the conversation. There's a lot of passages in this book that helps not only when it comes to the sexuality of whom you sleep with, whom you lie with, but also, like I talked about before, when it comes to like depression or when it comes to having mood swings and stuff like that, identifying and stuff like that, and also finding out community. Community is a big deal. Even though some guys, like say me personally, I don't have a full-on big community I go towards when it comes to like say my city. That's just part of who I am as a person. I'm more of a loner, and that's just part of. I mean, it's just part of my nature that I am very selective of whom I hang out with, and that's something that some people are about, and some people love a community. The community is a great thing, and in this book, I'm gonna look a little bit while I watch. I talk about it. Civil rights. Yes, we talk about it. This book talks about a lot of stuff. It talks about bars, which is a part of the community. It talks about civil rights, and it talks about clubs, and also cruising, which is not always a good thing. And it also talks about online situations and things of those natures. I'm going to just go along with just having a little bit of talk, things like that, and also talk about some of the psychological things I just read. This book helps you out, and books like this are something that is not always mainstreamed about or talked about. You have to go online like I did to purchase this book. How long did I have this book? This is my newer version of the same book I had when I was 21. Yes, you're hearing this now and clear. I read this book when I actually was a virgin. So I had read this book, and I literally I read this book through and through to figure out whom I was. There are so many books, and I want to say not so much books out there, more so as people like say on YouTube that you can also turn to for discussions like this, because I want y'all to understand first and foremost that that you are loved and that you are whom you are. God made you the way you did, and He didn't make no damn mistakes. Now, when it comes to books like this, what I want you to understand is you have to read this and have an open mindset for everything you read. Because when it comes to learning who you are or asking people, that's it's something more of a self-discovering phase. And it takes a little bit, like far as like 6 months, 2 years, 3 years, 50 years. The self-discovery does not stop. People are like, what is that? Some people don't know what S&M means. People don't know what bondage is. People don't even know what kink is. And you're like, oh, what is that? What did he just say to me? Some of y'all don't know what that is. Reading books like this helps you understand that. So if, say, some partner, if you meet someone in somewhere and they said something like, oh my God, I love this. And you're like, me too. And you're not actually knowing or understanding anything they're talking about. Books like this have so much dialect that is so great and it's so informative for the gays, not for gays, for all LGBTQ allies, and that also helps kind of like people not only to come to terms, but it also helps you define other things. This book talks about domestic violence and also talking about kind of having a better dialogue with your partner. Some people like it rough, and that needs to be said out there. Some people naturally talk verbally strong, and some guys love that. Some women love that from other women, like men love it from men. And you have to figure out sometimes the psychological reasons why. And the reason why I'm saying this is because that's one of those passages in this book. That's why I want you to understand, first and foremost, books like this matter. You need to figure out sometimes who can guide you. Now, a lot of people will say, well, what about the LGBTQs? What about sinners? That is all and well and great. Sometimes you can have a sinner. Some of us do not have that luxury. When I was 21, that was 2011, and virgin, everything like that. Yes, I saw some sites and saw things that they're doing, but I don't know how to do those things myself. And that being said, some people are like, oh, what kind of ways, other ways can you do this? There's situations where you can live in a house, which I'm going to talk about in another video pretty soon this week. And it's going to be probably live with community or something else. And it's more so not only a house, but also in the youth center. I would think that I would hope that you can talk to someone and confide in them and ask them certain things. And truly, what I will tell you first and foremost, when you do choose to lie with whoever you want to choose to lie with, make sure that you are doing this because you want to. I want to make sure that's out there. And also, especially for anyone that's dealing with someone that has a penis, and I'm going to say that word, and I'm sorry I have to say it like this, but your penis, is make sure you wrap it up. Please use condoms. I'm going to talk about that and go back to the topic because I want you to understand that, yes, STDs are alive and well and very fierce. I do not want you to be getting anything at a young age and getting something that you cannot get rid of. Please wear condoms. Please use condoms. Please get free condoms from anywhere you choose from. There are several places that have condoms for free as well. Now back to the topic of having dialogues like this. When it comes to books like this, I will tell you first and foremost, it helps. It helps so many people. If you are someone that doesn't want to include yourself in like everybody that say, oh my God, all these guys out there are gay and I'm gay too, but I just don't know if I belong with them or they do things that I don't, you know, your morals are different or your values or virtues are different. So a lot of times when it comes to books like this is your go-in-between. So this is like saying like, oh, well, I feel this way inside. Read the book. And it's kind of like its own version of a Bible. And people say, why is that? Because people read the Bible for several different reasons. People read several books for that same purpose because it helps you through and through. Every time you read it or every time you watch something, kind of has a different meaning, or it gives you a different purpose. It gives you a different way, or a way of a thought process, a way out, a way of those natures. Okay, yes, so is it okay? For all the, I would say, far as people that are women that are also identified as lesbian, there are books. I don't know, and I can't really say or stress that out, but if you feel that you have this desire in you and you don't know what you're going to do or have that type of thing, I've always told people, it doesn't matter what you identify under the umbrella of the LGBTQ, just if you feel like you don't have no one to talk to about it, research. Research is a beautiful thing. Researching from free sites, or if you can, find a book. Go to the public library, see if those books exist in the public library as well. Take an evening, take an afternoon, read it, check the book out. Figure your thought process, because if you do not have a center, this is mainly to people that don't get that luxury. When you don't have a center, or if you feel like this inside, and you don't know what to do, books like The Joys of Gay Sex and books like this help you out on a long-term scale because it helps you kind of figure things out. And as far as the trans male, trans female community, I cannot fully attest to this moment, but I will say this. Psychologically, you have to do a lot more work to have the sex change. Not so much the sex change when it comes to different body parts, but to legally have your sex change from you identifying as a male to identify as a woman, you identify as a woman to now becoming identified as a male. That is a hard, and that's like like that's a long cycle, and you have to have a cycle. You have to go to a therapist and everything. So this right here, this moment in itself, what I'm telling you first and foremost, that you personally do have to seek a therapist so they can, someone that can approve you, so you can understand, so you can have these feelings that you have inside. And so they are very expressed and they're very known and they're not someone that's judging you. I have to say that first and foremost, but there are, and it should be, I don't know how many books are out there, but I would say if you feel like you have this book, there are so many trans men and trans women that have books out there that I would also read upon and talk to, like, and have those type of open discussions. There are forums online. What I want you to understand is that this is not me just talking about a book. I want you to understand, I want you to realize this is also Gay Pride Month. This is us saying, hey, I'm happy to be who I am. This is who I am, and this is who God created. I love me. Books like this book right here helps you not only love you, but more so figure out whom you are within yourself. And it helps you along your path of self-discovery. If you have a tool that can help guide you, that's the goal sometimes. Now, all in all, I want you to understand, get this book. And I'm not sponsored by anyone, but I want you to understand, first and foremost, is that books like this do exist. You can go online to Facebook, you can go, not Facebook, you can go online to Amazon, you can go online to anywhere where you buy books or research for other books. So you understand, under the umbrella, you belong. And also it helps you figure out where you place in yourself in the community. Maybe you want to identify as gay, maybe you want to identify as a lesbian, but you don't have that much information and you just call yourself anything else other than those two titles, or you choose not to. And that's okay. No one's telling you at all. You have to decide anything. I am not ever that person. I will promise you. Now, end of the day, this video ran so long, but I wanted to get this on and get this out there because I'm going to read this book one more time, cover to cover, because this has so many things. Now, this book is very different, and people say, why is that? And I'm going to show you just a little bit of it. Because the table of contents alone, I'm trying to get to that page. This is a table of contents, and this has a lot of things on there. Now, you're like, oh, but you're not getting close up. No, I'm not. Why? Because I'd rather you get your own book or you get a sample of the same book online. You can go to Amazon.com, and I think you can get excerpts of the book, and you can probably see if this is a book that you can read. So, I really hope that you understand more and more that there are books like this out there for you. And that's where I want you to understand there's dialects out there for you. If you feel confused or you feel like you're lost, or oh, you came out and you want to act upon your sexual desires and you're like, I don't know what to do. Books like this exist for that particular reason. Or also, what you can also do, now I'm not going to, but not sex stores, but novelty stores help too. And you can talk to whoever I feel like the customer service there, as long as it's spot on, it can help you a lot too. I want to get that out there because I'm not going to ever talk about sexual positions, because that's just something I will not do for my channel, because that's just not me. I just, no. It's just not me as a person. But all in all, Travis, stay woke, Travis, get woke. And first and foremost and last, remember, every single day you are loved. I love you. And I do not know if you're religious or not, but I know He loves you. And when you find your community that you belong, or find yourself more and more, you'll understand the love. You'll understand the love I have for you. Now, in the end, this month is winding down sooner or later, and I am kind of sad about it, but no, these videos are a lot. So, Travis, stay woke, Travis, get woke, and I'll talk to you tomorrow for another topic. Tomorrow is Friday. Tomorrow is Friday. So I'm going to talk about pride. Yes, I'm going to talk about ins and outs and what you can do for pride. Yes. See you tomorrow.